Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Business Growth Show, where we talk about all components of business and how to utilize them for exponential growth. My name is Ethan Cassiotis. I'm a business growth strategist where I help business owners grow and scale to create freedom and choice. And today, I have an awesome guest. He's a serial entrepreneur, author, the chairman at the Champions Institute, and the CEO of HOA.com, the #1 referral network for home service professionals. He helps businesses grow their audience, engage more fiercely loyal clients, and close more profitable sales in less time through raving referrals, referral partnerships, and applying the unique BANK bank sales methodology. He has closed over 500 million in transactions by referral and has founded multiple online retail platforms and networks, connecting more than 5 million members in 195 countries. Welcome, Brandon Barnum, and thank you for being on my show.
Thanks, Ethan. Pleasure to be here.
Awesome, mate. I'm sure it's going to be an amazing show here for everyone watching and listening today. So you're a very successful entrepreneur. So for those people who don't know who you are, please introduce yourself by telling us about you and your journey.
Oh man, my journey, there's a big question, right? Well, I graduated college with a degree in marketing and was working shortly thereafter as a marketing director for an estate planning law firm when I got custody of my son, and at 24 years old became a single dad. So I had to make a change and got into the mortgage industry. And within about 18 months, I had somebody that was mentoring me in the whole system of how to build your business by referrals. And in 18 months was able to take my income from 20,000 a year to 200,000 a year, so 10x in 18 months. And from there, I've just been passionate about sharing that expertise and helping other people achieve their dreams and live a life worth living.
Yeah, awesome, mate. I love the stories like that from, small, bring it big, and then just helping others along the way there. So, you mentioned it already, and I know that you're a massive expert in referrals. So initially, just firstly, why are referrals so powerful?
Oh, it's massive. Referrals are so important for your business. Number one, people say they're 400% more likely to do business with you when they're referred. That's what the research shows. So instantly, by getting clients by referrals, you're 4xing 400 times increase of your conversion rate on those clients. And also your average income per client increases by an average of 16%. So it's like just adding a 16% bump in your pay because that client came by referral, because they trust you from the get-go. They're not out there having to price shop. Immediately they know, because somebody has recommended you and transferred their trust with that person onto you. They know that you're somebody that they can trust and do business with. So it's just the most powerful way to build your business ever.
Yeah, awesome, mate. So great points. And yes, the stats back it up, like as you say. And I know with some people that, sometimes they don't exactly know how to ask, for referrals and things
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. So do you want to maybe share a little bit about what's the best way to ask our either clients or partners as well, either one, for referrals in like an easy and seamless way?
It's a great question, Nathan. I'll tell you what, most people feel really uncomfortable when it comes to asking for referrals. So we teach people a simple 3-step process. Number one, you're going to set the stage. Set the stage. Number two, you're going to listen for the triggers. And then number three, you're going to ASK to GET. So let's unpack that. First, setting the stage. Anytime you're meeting with a client for the first time, what you want to be doing is at the end of that initial client conversation, before you let them walk out the door, say, before you leave, I've got a quick favor to ask you. If at the end of after serving you and hopefully exceeding your expectations, would it be okay if I ask for your referrals later on after I've proven myself to you? Now, everybody always says yes to this because it's such an easy ask. You're not putting them on the spot. You're not asking anything from them today in this moment. You're really asking for permission to wow them with your service. And if you do, to ask them for referrals later. So that's number one, set the stage. Now, once you've done that and you start serving that client, you want to be listening for the referral triggers. That's step number two. So what does that sound like? Well, it's really an expression of appreciation. It could be like, Ethan, you are just so amazing. You've made such a difference for me and my family. You've helped us save money, make money, look better, lose weight, gain muscle, whatever it is that your business delivers. Well, once you hear them, say one of those referral triggers, now it's time to ASK to GET. You've got to ask them in order to get those referrals. So what you do is you simply say, I'm so glad you feel that way. I love helping people like you achieve these types of results. In fact, that's how I get all my business. So remember early on, I said, I'd love to ask you for referrals. Well, since you're so thrilled with my service, I'd love to help the people that you care about get the same type of results. So who do you know that's facing this that I can help right now?
Yeah, awesome, mate. Love that simple system, the initial part, and then, yeah, what you do ongoing there. Really powerful, right? And it's very simple to do, which is awesome.
It's simple, but you've got to listen. You got to pay attention, right? But you do it by design. And when you do this systematically in your business, what you're going to find is your clients are always going to, I shouldn't say always, your clients are typically going to tell you something good about your service at some point. And that's when you spring into action, and they'll be thrilled to give you referrals because they're thrilled with your service.
Yeah, love that. You mentioned a really powerful word there that I love in business, which is called system. So, I think a lot of the time people may ask for these referrals, but they're probably, in email, they're doing other things, and they're probably not really tracking potentially, right? Because sometimes they may not come straight away. They may come a bit later, whatever like that in the moment. If you've got a lot of things going on, as we wear many hats, as the business owner in the business. So is there a good way of how we can, I guess, track, these referrals in a system? Like, is it, do we link it to a CRM, or what are your thoughts around how we can track these as well, so we can make sure that we, capitalize on that?
Yeah, you've got to have a system, and system stands for save yourself time, energy, and money. You've probably heard that before, and I love that acronym. I use our raving referral system. So we actually have a planner here, and in the planner, we track the referrals that we give and receive. And then I put those into our CRM. We have a CRM that we've built that we call Engage at HOA.com. So we just track that referral source. And the other thing that I want to make sure we talk about in the future of this conversation is about building referral partnerships, because not only should you be looking for referrals from your clients and customers, which are one of the best ways to get clients, but also referrals from other professionals who are serving your ideal clients every day. Now, how you track that, depending on how sophisticated you are, like we use actual referral tracking links. We call a referral partner program. Some people think of it as an affiliate program, and that system automatically tracks the activity, the referrals that come in, and they notify the person that gives you the referrals. And then of course it tracks it for our internal purposes as well.
Yeah, awesome, mate. Really, really powerful. And let's dive into that referral partnerships. You've mentioned it now. So do you want to maybe give some examples for people, in there about what some good, combinations of referral partnerships? Because, there are some great ones that have similar there. And, to my knowledge, right, it's that these are people that have similar clients, but they're not competing with you, basically, right? Is a great referral type of partnership. So do you want to maybe share a little bit maybe about some examples and how we can, look at creating those partnerships as well?
Absolutely. Yeah. So when I was in the mortgage business, I spent 12 years as a mortgage loan officer and then as a mortgage broker owning my own company. And what I learned was that by partnering with people that were serving the same ideal clients each and every day, and rather than being a lone ranger and building my business by myself, what I did is I created a series of partnerships so that I was sending them business and they were sending me business. We're all serving, in that case, homeowners, right? So I would partner with realtors, financial planners, insurance agents, attorneys, accountants, and then of course, all the home service pros that worked on the home, appraisers, home inspectors, warranty, painter, plumber, all those folks that are out there talking to homeowners all the time. And what I wanted them to do was be a scout, right? Be scouting business for me so that they were looking for opportunities. And I was always doing the same and am to this day, right? I'm always on the lookout for who can I refer. Right before this call, I literally am sending a partner of ours a new client because I had dinner with this woman last week. She mentioned that she had a need, and then you put the people together, you're adding value to both sides. So the key is when it comes to creating a referral partnership, number one, you've got to identify who it is that you want to build referral partnerships with, and then approach them strategically. And the way you want to do that is you want to give first. Okay, you probably heard givers gain. It's a great strategy, and it's been embraced by the whole BNI global community, and it's fantastic. And it makes such a difference. So how can you make a difference to the people that you're wanting to receive from? Well, the best way to do that is to give first. So be on the lookout for who can you refer to your partners and what can you do to make a difference in their business. And as you do that and you start to teach them the types of perfect prospects for your business, and the more value that you add, the more referrals start to come your way.
Yeah, awesome. So awesome. And yeah, givers gain is extremely powerful. You know, I think it also comes down to a belief thing as well sometimes about, like, one of mine is the more I give, the more I receive, you know, at the same time. So even that can just solidify that, you know, in your own mind, you know, to then go out there and yeah, give as much as you can. So powerful stuff.
Totally. My license plate on my car back in Oregon was "Give More." And literally that was the message I drove down the street with, because I want to infect it into others, right? I want others to believe that in their soul and to know that that is true, because just like you said, the more you give, the more you receive.
Yeah, awesome. So obviously, you know, now we've got these referrals, right, from these people, you know, partners and clients or whoever it is that we get it from. And it's always nice to thank, you know, the person as well, right, for what we're doing, for, you know, for that client or whatever it is there. So, you know, what are some ways of how we can thank the person, you know, for that, that client or, you know, that referral?
I'm glad you brought this up. I got a great story to tell you. You know, I thought I was pretty good in the mortgage business. And then one day I had a past client call me up. And they called me up and they said, "Hey, Brandon, whatever happened with that Tom Jones guy?" Not his name, but just as an example, right? And I said, "Oh, that I had referred over. This VP at Intel, this major executive, had sent me this client, but I hadn't thanked John Jones, the name of the executive." And he's like, "Look, can I tell you, can I give you a piece of advice?" And I said, "Of course, absolutely." He said, "You know, when somebody gives you a referral, it's a really good idea to thank them." And I felt like the biggest jerk. I'm like, how did I not do that, right? Here it is, this transaction. I'm going to make $6,000 on this, and I didn't even take the time to thank the guy. So what I did at that point, because I had like 30 loan officers working for me, I immediately had thank you cards printed up from our company, where it literally said, it was a fill in the blank. "Thank you so much for referring." And then there was a blank line so that all of our loan officers could write the name of the person in to the card and then slip it in the mail. So that's an easy way, is a thank you card. Beyond that, though, I love celebrating people. I think one of the best ways to thank people is publicly. It not only acknowledges that person, so do it on your social media, in your newsletters, however you're communicating to your clients and your community. Do a shout out for that person, right? Maybe you do a video. "Hey, I just wanted to thank Ethan Casiotis for the amazing, you know, for bringing me onto the Business Growth Show," for example, right? Ethan. And so you could do a shout out like that, where now you're giving credibility to the other person, you're celebrating them and exposing them to a whole new community of buyers for their products and services. So publicly recognizing people is a great way to do it. And then, of course, people love rewards. So sometimes we'll send out movie tickets, Starbucks gift cards, or any other gifts, so that you can just reward that person for making a difference.
Yeah, awesome way to thank people. Thanks for that, Brandon. So then obviously networking events are a big way, right, to get referrals. And you know, mentioned BNI before. Obviously, there's a lot of networking groups out there, globally or in your local area. How, in your opinion, can we maximize them, right? Because if we're meeting on a weekly basis or a fortnightly basis, you know, with these people, or it might just be odd occasions, right, where it's, you're in a new group where you just go occasionally, so they may not know you as much. So how, depending on these instances, can we maximize them, you know, I guess, to get the biggest ROI so everybody wins? Yeah.
Yeah, great question, Nathan. I think one of the most important things that you can do is go meet the organizers. If you're going to a live event, like let's say it's actually in person, remember those? Find the people that are checking people in and let them know what you're there for, what you're looking for. Let's say, for example, you're looking for an accountant that you want to meet or a financial advisor, whatever that type of industry or profession is, just introduce to yourself to them. Their job is to help you win. They are literally there at that event to help you get connected to the people that you want to meet. So what I do and recommend everybody do is go up to them. Let them know who you are, what you're there for, and who you'd like to connect with. And what they'll do is they'll go up and introduce you to the best people in the room. And that way, rather than going around and just, randomly meeting people that may or may not be a fit, you've got the leader of the event connecting you with your perfect partner and prospect.
Yeah. Awesome, mate. So powerful. The gatekeepers, so to speak, that know everyone in the room, and they'll be able to connect you to the right people. And if we go to one, I guess, bigger step again, like you said, in person is nice, but just events in general. It might not be a networking, event, but it could be events that you go to, you're seeing people speak or just general events. Can we use these, whether it's for ourselves, maybe we're creating the event, or maybe we're going to an event, to increase referrals in our business as well?
Yeah, events are a fantastic place to meet people. Now, one of the challenges is that most people start pitch slapping, right? As soon as you get in the door, you're telling people all about what you do. And I would really recommend that you ask questions twice as much as you talk. Spend time learning about them. A lot of people are in a hurry to give someone their business card. I don't ever hand someone a business card unless they ask for it. Now, I will ask for their contact information because that's really how you win in a networking event or a live meeting, is that if you find somebody that's of interest to you or you think you can add value to them, make sure you get their contact information so that you're in control now of the follow-up. And the fortune is in the follow-up. I can't tell you how many times I've met people at events and they ask for your business card and then you never hear from those people again. If you want to make a difference when you meet someone, actually follow up with them. Go check them out on LinkedIn, send them a connection request, send them a text message or an email. And one of the other secrets that I don't see a lot of people using is video messages. You can record a video message to somebody on your phone. It doesn't take long, 30 seconds, and then you send that to somebody else. Now you've totally stood out. They remember your face. They remember the conversation more so. And again, it's about standing out from your competition and then making yourself memorable.
Yeah, love that. There's a couple of things I want to delve deeper on those points there that you just shared. So let's say, what is a good way? Like you mentioned, connecting with people on LinkedIn or sending an email or stuff like that. From what you're seeing, if you get their business card, let's just say, as an example, sometimes you don't, sometimes you might just connect with them on, socials or something like that. But let's say you have both the email and, you've maybe requested the connection request, but maybe, they're not, they're not connected at the time. They still have to accept it or something.
Right.
What are some of the best way you're seeing of being able to, create that connection in that follow up, making sure you're doing that? Is it, is it the, LinkedIn sending a video message? Is it maybe attaching a video to an email or something like that? Is it like what sort of you seeing as the best way that's getting, that's getting traction and actually creating the relationships after?
How about old school? Old school. Like these are literally greeting cards that people are sending me, right? Because they follow up and it really makes an impression. Here we go. Here's a custom message with my name on it. And inside the message is just for me. So I think that's one of the ways that really stand out. It's actually one of the things we're incorporating in to HOA.com so that all of our realtors, mortgage lenders, and painters and plumbers have a way to follow up with their clients. But forget about that for a second. Let's talk about digital. If you've got their mobile number, then you can do a video message like we talked about. You can send them something of interest. The whole key here, Ethan, is make it about them and add value. How can you make a difference to them? Is it referring a client? Is it referring a prospective partner, somebody that they could really create an awesome collaboration with? Find out what they care about and then make it about them. Maybe when you meet them, they're telling you all about their children or their dog or whatever it is that they're passionate about. When you can find out what they really care about and then give them something that makes a difference in what they're most passionate about, that's when you stand out the most.
Yeah, awesome points. Love that. And let's get into LinkedIn a little bit more now, because you touched on it, right? Like connecting people to LinkedIn. LinkedIn's gaining a lot of momentum now, for what I'm seeing online, and it's really being that good differentiator of connecting people in the professional world. So can you delve deep a little bit more on LinkedIn and what you're seeing on there and how we can use it, to get more connections as well as, referrals?
There's a ton of people that are on LinkedIn that are helping people really create and attract clients and prospects for their business. For me, I don't really like talking to strangers as much as I do when they're referred, like you. You came as a referral from somebody that I know, like, and trust. So I was a yes. If Brian says you're a great guy and here's a show that I need to be in, then I'm here to give and to support you because of that relationship and that referral that was made. So one of the strategies that I would recommend is that you go to the people that you already know and ask them for introductions to the people that you want to know. Let's say, for example, that you have a certain type of client. Maybe you serve CEOs or maybe you serve financial advisors. Whatever that perfect prospect is to you, go to the people that you already know and ask for those introductions. And the great thing about LinkedIn is you can actually look them up. I can go into your connections and actually see who is it that Ethan knows that I want to get connected with. You can actually do a search and get super strategic about the people that I want to ask you about. And so you might have 10,000 connections, but I might only want to ask you about 5 of them. And now when I come to you strategically saying, hey, Ethan, I'd really love your support. It looks like you know Keith Smith over here. How well do you know him? And if it's a real strong relationship for you, then there may be an opportunity for that introduction and raving referral.
Yeah, awesome. I love that strategy of being strategic in that way as well. And of all this amazing referral talk, you are the author of Raving Referrals, the book, which I have right here as well. Raving Referrals, amazing book. I'm in the process of getting into it now. Haven't fully sunk my teeth into it, but I've recently just bought it. So tell us more about how this book, helps us with referrals.
Absolutely. Thank you for buying the book and for the shameless plug. I love it. Thank you, Ethan. Number one, it's going to teach you the referral basics. I would recommend everybody go to referralscorequiz.com, referralscorequiz.com. It's a quick quiz. It'll take you less than 2 minutes. And what it's going to do is ask you about how you rate in the top 10 referral best practices. And what you're going to find is there may be some gaps there. There may be some where you're really strong. Like one of the questions is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate the service you provide to your clients? Well, most professionals are pretty good there, right? 8, 9, or 10. But then one of the things you mentioned earlier is how good are you at thanking the people that give you referrals? You might only be a 4 or a 5. And as you go through the referral score quiz, it's going to identify some gaps that you can improve and instantly increase your referrals and your revenue. But about half of the book is focused on referral partnerships and co-marketing campaigns. And this is where a lot of people miss the boat. There's a ton of programs out there to tell you about how to build your business by referral. This is the only one that I've ever seen that shows you step by step how to use what we call a referral partner blueprint, not only to have the conversation, but more importantly, to activate that referral partnership. There's 21 different co-marketing campaigns that we detail in the book, and most of them cost you nothing, but you can literally promote your business with your partner while you're each promoting each other to your respective clients and community. And when you do that, that's where you get massive leverage for your business.
Yeah, awesome. Sounds amazing. This book, I haven't fully got into it yet, but from what Brian, who connected us, and many other people have said about it, and you've got some, amazing plug there as well from Steve Rogers, former Warren Buffett CEO, said it's a must read for anyone that whose business runs on referrals. So definitely check it out, everyone. And like Brandon said, it's step by step, which is awesome. With how you can actually directly integrate this into your business and do that quiz and everything else like that. So definitely check it out. And a lot of the time, let's talk from a your perspective, a business owner perspective, or an executive perspective. We need to learn from others, and a lot of the time, the most successful people have coaches and mentors, along the journey that help us. So I want to, hear it from your perspective. Have you had coaches and mentors, in your journey, and how important has it been you to help you achieve what you've achieved?
Always, yeah. You've got to have a coach or a mentor guiding you through the process. If not, you feel all alone. But when you've got a coach that's there helping you through every step of your business, you've got a sense of confidence and certainty. And I love what Les Brown says. He says, you can't see the picture when you're inside of the frame. Right? So you don't know what you don't know. And that's why having a coach or a mentor to guide you and mastermind with you about your business is so, so helpful. I've hired numerous coaches over the years, and we have a number of consultants that we're hiring right now. I have one that's just an internet marketing consultant, and that's all we're doing with the Champions Institute. We're micro-analyzing every funnel in our system to improve the overall performance. And you're going to find there's people out there that are really strong in the areas where you're weak. And that's where you need help, is to see things that you can't see by yourself and gain that confidence in the areas where you don't have it by yourself.
Yeah, so true. Completely agree with that. My coaches and mentors have definitely helped me get me where I are, and I'll continue to invest in them over time with showing those blind spots and turning those weaknesses into strengths as well.
Yeah, and I think what you just said is so right, Ethan. Is you said, I'm going to invest in them. A lot of people look at the money they're paying out as an expense, right? And there are definitely expenses in your business. There's things that you have to pay in order to fund your business and fuel your business. And then there are investments into your business. And that's what business coaching is, in my opinion, right? That is an investment. You may spend $30,000, $50,000, $75,000 a year, or whatever that is for you. But the question is, what's the ROI on that investment? If you can spend $50,000 for a coach that helps you grow your business by $500,000, that is money that's well spent.
Yeah, definitely love that. That's the whole simple mindset trick, right? About what's it going to make me, not how much it costs. Love that as well. And, obviously you've dealt with a lot of businesses as well. What are some of the biggest mistakes, I guess, that you're seeing people do in business, whether it's just referrals in general or, whatever it is like that? Yeah.
It depends. We work with a lot of home service pros at HOA.com, and these are people that are great at painting or plumbing or being an electrician. They don't know anything about running a business per se. They went to school for their trade or their craft. And so what you need to do is focus on living into your strengths, right? There's a book by Marcus Buckingham that says, Go Put Your Strengths to Work. And that book really changed my perspective. It talks a lot about the difference between leadership and management. And some people are good leaders and they're not great managers. And some people are great managers and they're not great leaders. So the reality is, you want to find the area where you make the biggest difference in your business. And if you've got gaps, then you need to bring people in to fill them, whether that's hiring people, contracting with folks, or partnering with people that can make a difference and help your overall team get stronger. But that's one of the main gaps that I've seen, is that people try and do it all themselves and they get stuck and they get overwhelmed. So you've got to find the resources and the team that you need to succeed.
Yeah, great points. Completely agree with all of that. And we always talk about all these amazing things that happen in our businesses and all your accolades and things, but I'm sure, like everybody, there's huge amounts of challenges and failures or whatever you want to call them, right, along the journey. It doesn't always go up. Business is sort of like an up and down thing, but goes up over time. That's the ideal thing that we wanted to do. So, do you want to maybe talk about, I guess, one of the biggest failures or something like that that happened in your business, so people have that awareness and how you overcame it as well?
There's so many I have to think about. Here's the thing about being an entrepreneur. You're going to fail. And then you got to get up and do it again. And you may fail again, right? But I don't really think of it as failure. I think of it as learning. Okay. So when we talk about the shortcomings or one of the biggest challenges that I see is mindset. In fact, I was talking to a business coach recently and I said, how much of what you're coaching is mindset? And he said it's over 90%, right? Even though this is a business coach that talks about inventory control, sales processes, operations, finance, right? All the different things to make your business run. It's the mindset that most people get stuck with. But as far as failures, I've had so many. I've had marketing campaigns that have been a complete flop where we've spent 60, 90 days building these funnels and videos and all the campaigns, and it just fell flat. People didn't respond to it. So one of the best pieces of advice that I can say is go test, right? If you've got an idea, something that you want to put into action, go test it out. Have conversation with 10 clients or prospective clients, share your idea with them, get their perspective, and then see if they'll buy. Because it's one thing to say, oh yeah, I think that's a great idea, Ethan. It's another thing to say, that's a great idea, and I'd love to hire you to do that for me.
Yeah, awesome points. Love that. So true. What's actually working in the market and has traction and interest, and then sales, right? Of course, as well, which is awesome. And yeah, so powerful today, Brandon, on all these referral strategies. Oh yeah, go.
Oh, well, I just want to say, as I'm thinking about like biggest mistakes, hiring it is a huge one, right? Bringing on the people that are going to drive your business. You mentioned bank earlier on, and that's one of the things that we really teach is people how to understand the different personality codes. And I would say take 2 minutes, go to knowyourcode.us, take the time, 60 seconds, you'll look at each of the different codes and sort them in order, and it'll send you a report showing you exactly how you are wired, how your brain thinks. And not only will that give you insight into yourself, but if you use personality tools like that to assess the people that you're adding onto your team, then you can take a more objective approach and hire the right people that are going to make the difference for your business.
Yeah, awesome. So true, right? Hire slow, fire fast, as they say, in there, and get the right people in so that you can really build a strong business with key foundations there. Love it, mate. Really powerful stuff. And we've gone extremely deep on referrals today. It's been so much gold that you've shared today, Brandon. And I guess as we're wrapping up today, what one key piece of advice would you like to give to all the entrepreneurs watching and listening today?
The biggest thing is live life by design, not by default, right? Figure out what it is that you want to accomplish, experience, and go after it with everything you've got. Share it with other people. Write your goals. For me, I've got all of my goals written and I've got them all outlined for the next 50 years, or really through the year 2050, I should say. So about 30 years. But be intentional about what it is that you want to accomplish, who it is that you want to meet, the places that you want to go. And just by being intentional about that and then sharing it with other people, what you'll see is miracles will start showing up. Things will start happening. I remember when I first learned this through my mentor, Mark Victor Hansen at Chicken Soup for the Soul, I wrote 335 goals. And things just started happening immediately. Like I met Bono from U2 within 6 months of saying I wanted to meet Bono. Like that was, when I wrote it down, it was so far beyond me, but it happened because the power of attraction and intention. So be crystal clear about what it is that you want to accomplish or experience. Share that with other people. And what you're going to find out is that miracles happen all the time. And magically, these things will show up in your life that you were just dreaming about minutes or months ago.
Yeah, love that. Extremely powerful points. Definitely delve into that, everybody. A lot of gold that Brandon shared with us today. And yeah, we connected through our networks, learned about your awesome journey from, being a technology innovator, featuring real estate property listings, as you mentioned initially, to, now being, the chairman at the Champions Institute and the CEO of HOA.com, the #1 referral network for home service professionals. You're an awesome guy. I'm sure everyone will agree. And I'm sure you'll continue to help businesses grow, through raving referrals. Very grateful that we connected. Thank you to Brian as well. And I look forward to working with you. So, Brandon, how can people find you, get in contact with you?
Thanks, Ethan. Well, LinkedIn is a great way. You can find me, Brandon Barnum, HOA.com. That's a great way to find me. Obviously, you can check out what we're doing at HOA.com. If you're interested in the book, you can go to ravingreferrals.com and learn more about that. And those are really the best places to find me.
Yeah, definitely. Go check out all those areas. Brandon, wealth of knowledge. I'm sure everyone will agree today. Really powerful. And yeah, definitely check him out. And thank you to everyone for watching and listening to this show where we talk about everything on business growth. And please like, subscribe, and leave us a 5-star review. And you can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube as Ethan Cassiotis. Visit my website, ethancassiotis.com. So if you want to grow and scale your business, you can reach out to me on any platform and see if we're a good fit. And I completely agree with you, or do I? The only way we'll know is if you tune in next time. So until next time, remember that our business grows when we learn skills and take action using them in spite of fear. So remember to design your growth and results.